Your appreciation really inspires me a lot. And I was discussing about the non-alignment moment. Let's go to the direct topic of the basic objectives of non-alignment moment. The most important objective, the first one is imperialism, to end the imperialism and colonialism, promotion of international peace and security and disarmament, creation of a new international economic order, and ending of racism and racial discrimination and ending of the information imperialism. These were the six topics which was the basic objectives of the non-aligned policies. 118 countries, 118, 118 countries during the first 47 years. Members of the non-alignment movement has increased to 118 countries. South Africa had become the 109 member in 1994. After all of after almost all of them are members of the United Nations and thus constitute about 60% of the total membership of the United Nations. All countries of the Africa are members of the non-alignment movement. The Charter of the Organization of Economic Unity, African Unity, has as one of its principles affirmation of a policy of non-alignment with regard to all blocs. 14 conferences, summit conferences of the NAM have been held. Belgrade 1961, Cairo, Egypt 1964, Lusaka 1970, Algeria 1973, Colombo 1976, Havana 1979, Delhi 1983, Harare, Zimbabwe 1986, Belgrade 1989, Jakarta 92, 1992, Cartagena de Indias, Colombia 95, Durban 98, Kuala Lumpur 2003, Havana once again 2006. These 14 summit level conferences have been held till now. After the fourth summit conference held at Algeria, it was decided to establish a coordinating bureau in Algeria. When the fourth meeting was going on, they decided coordinating bureau, which was later charged with the task of coordinating their joint activities aimed at the implementation of the programs adopted at the summit conferences. At ministerial conferences, at meetings of groups of non-alignment countries in the United Nations, and at other meetings of the non-aligned countries. There were doubts about the relevance and future of the non-aligned movement after the end of the Cold War. These doubts were set at rest at the 10th summit held at Jakarta in 1992. This was the first summit which was held in the New World situation. The 10th summit at the Jakarta message adopted by the heads of the state or governments of the non-alignment movement stated was held as, um, in inverted commas, a time of profound change and rapid transformation, a time of great promise as well as a great challenge, a time of opportunity amidst pervasive uncertainty, unquote. It stressed that improvements in the international political climate had vindicated the validity and relevance of the non-alignment, pointing out that the world was still far from being a peaceful, just and secure place. And right now we are witnessing the Russia-Ukraine war. And we have also witnessed the Syrian war, now witnessing as well. Right now, a threat also going on into the South China Sea and the Taiwan Strait as well. So there is no peace in the world. That's why in the Jakarta 92, the country is adopting that world is still not free from war. So we need non-aligned. Simmering disputes, violence, violent conflicts, aggressive aggression, and foreign occupation, interferences into the internal affairs of the state, policies of hegemony and dominance, ethnic strife, religious intolerance, new form of racism, and narrowly conceived nationalism as major dangerous obstacle for the harmonious coexistence among the states and the people, and have even helped to disintegration of the states and societies. So these were also discussed that it is the line, it is the passage which were said by the 1992, 30 years before, and we are witnessing right now. Its validity also is right now they are witnessing. The message reiterated that commitment of the non-alignment movement to the shaping of a new international order free from war, poverty, intolerance, injustice, a world based on the principles of peaceful coexistence and genuine interdependence, a world which takes into account the diversity of social systems and cultures. These were the principles of non-alignment movement. The period after the Jakarta summit was one of the few reaching changes in the world situation, which gave rise to a question regarding the relevance of the moment. And during Ukraine war, many countries are also proclaiming that we are non-aligned. There was an acceleration into the process of globalization and the spread of the free market economy that accompanied it. The problems of terrorism, the problems of terrorism was was also becoming an important issue in many regions. There was also a manifestation of the consequences of the world, which was believed to have become unipolar after the disintegration of USSR. Such a unilateralism and the proclamation of the rights of the sole superpower and its allies to interfere into the affairs of the other countries and the effect regime change. Just like Pakistani former Prime Minister Imran Khan saying that the United States changed my regime and चोरों को बैठा दिया. The Kula Lumpha Summit 2003 laid emphasis into the revitalization of the non-alignment movement. The Havana Summit in 2006, in its declaration, reaffirmed the commitment to the ideas, principles, and purposes upon which the movement was founded on a political level. It said, There is a, there is a need to promote the good of creating a multipolar world order based on respect for the application of the principles of international law and the UN Charter and the reinforcement of multilateralism. These things India is right now proclaiming raising loudly the international law and UN Charter and reinforcement of multilateralism and reforms into the multilateralism and the multipolar world. This word is this particular word phrase is now being used here and there very frequently in current politics. In further stated, now more than ever, it is essential that our nations remains united and steadfast, and also increasingly active in order to successfully confront unilateralism and interven- interve- interventionism. Interventionism. Okay. The declaration asserted the principles by which the nations associated with the movement will be guided. Some of the principles are: no state of group of states has the right to intervene either directly or indirectly, whatever the motives, in the internal affairs of any other state. So they took the oath not to interfere into the internal affairs of any other state. Very first thing. Rejection of attempts to regime change. Don't try to intervene into the internal politics of any other country, not to attempt to change the regime. Rejection and opposition of terrorism in all its forms and manifestations, committed by whoever, wherever, and from whatever purposes, as it constitutes one of the most serious threats for the international peace and security. In this context, terrorism should not be equated with the legitimate struggle of people under colonial or alien domination and foreign occupation for self-determination and national liberation. The membership of the non-aligned movement comprises almost all the developing countries of the world, and nevertheless, differences in some specific issues. There are many issues, including the fulfillment of the rights of development, that binds them together and makes the continuous relevance of the moment. So that's the uh, issue that I discussed with you in my 45-minute video. The first part, and this is the second part. So non-alignment. I told you the historical grounds, the summit that have been takes place, and the objectives of the policy and the way forward. Okay. So the relevance of this NAM is also, and India is now becoming the leader of this South cooperation through a non-alignment movement, and we are moving forward, and we seek cooperation of all the developing and least developed nation, because we are following the democratic, type kind of governance. So democracy gives the transparency and trust and establishes the a trust-based relationship, so that all the countries get their fair and equal, equitable uh, say into the politics and affairs. So India deserves to be, I think, a leader, become a leader for the non-aligned movement countries, for South cooperation. Yes, we are doing right. And many countries have trust for India's strength and development, no doubt about it. Thank you very much for your timing. I think you will get enriched some point or other while after finishing my video. Thank you very much. I seek your cooperation and love into the form of uh, subscribe, subscription, and liking my videos and share it with your friends so that they can also get enriched by the knowledge and some information they will get. Right kind of information. Uh, Thank you very much.